is there any sign of significant rainfall? Well, the short answer is no. The slightly longer answer is yes, we will see a bit of rain over the next few days. These maps here summarise the 24-hour rain totals on Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday. And if you just squint, you can see some blue colours there on the south coast. Hit and miss showers in the far south of England on Saturday. Showers continuing to affect parts of northern and western Scotland, Northern Ireland, mostly light and scattered. Very little rain in between, that's what the white indicates. Sunday, a few specks there on the east coast, not much, less than 5 millimetres. Very little rain elsewhere. By Monday, we're back to white across the whole of the UK, so hardly any rainfall. And looking further ahead, little sign of that changing, and that's potentially a concern. Great news if you've got outdoor plans this bank holiday weekend. It's, despite the colder feel, still going to be mostly settled. Plenty of fine weather for doing outdoor activities. But let's go to this map first of all, or this graph I should say. This shows the amount of rainfall we've seen so far this spring, first 2 months of spring. Now the black line is where we typically see the rain, so at this point just above 150 millimetres averaged across the UK. But this is where we've actually seen the rainfall, less than half the amount of rainfall we typically see at this point. And if we carry on this theme, well, it would be one of the driest springs on record, although a lot can change, obviously, in just a few days or a few weeks. However, things don't look promising at all for farmers and growers if you look ahead to what the computer models are saying for the first 2 weeks of May. This chart here from our friends at windy.com shows the total rainfall coming out of the European model, the latest simulation of the European model, up to 2 weeks' time, so up to this point on Friday in 2 weeks. And basically the blue and the brighter colours show where we're expecting rainfall, but very little of that across the UK, which in some places is showing none, in other places not much at all. And it's not just this latest run of the European model, this is the American model, shows high pressure in a similar place just to the west of the UK, and this slice of remarkably dry weather across northern Europe, all the rain kept across France and Spain and Portugal. Very little rain for the next 2 weeks in the UK and across other parts of northern Europe. Always the chance of some showers heading up from the south and some outbreaks of rain from weak weather fronts into the north of Scotland, but otherwise staying very dry if you were to believe these computer model simulations for the first 2 weeks. And we don't just look at those two simulations, we look at hundreds of simulations, and we use this new tool at the Met Office called Decider to summarise the output from those 250 plus weather simulations, and this gives us a summary of the most likely weather patterns for the next few weeks. Now, this chart here shows those weather patterns colour-coded, and just want to draw your eyes to the dark red colour. That indicates a weather pattern in which high pressure is sitting just across the north of the UK, and that's keeping Atlantic weather systems away. It's keeping the rain to the south and to the north, and this is the most likely weather pattern for next Tuesday, but not just for next Tuesday, Wednesday, into Thursday, and so on. And even as we go into the following weekend, there are more colours getting involved here. They're all saying roughly the same thing. High pressure, very close to the UK. That's what these different shades of red and orange show. And whatever colour the weather pattern is, they're all tending to indicate, if we skip ahead to, for example, Saturday the 10th of May, they're all tended to indicate drier than average weather. Now this shows all those different colours of weather patterns, and when I click on the map here, it shows whether they're likely to be drier than average, that's over towards the left, or wetter than average towards the right. We've got warm and cold going up and down. But what you'll notice is whether we're in this weather pattern or this weather pattern, some uncertainty about where the highs and lows sit, it's all coming up as drier than average. So yes, the short answer is that it's not looking like any significant rain is expected for the next couple of weeks.